Good morning, sir.
인턴자 하야봉더
क्या कहाँ तक हो गया?
मैं रंग शरबतों का तू मीठी घाटी का बानी मुझे पता
854
चलो अभी लॉग इनइक्वालिटी चल रही थी अपनी, है ना?
ये इंग्लिश का पीरियड है ना?
सर ये बोर्ड क्लासेस हैं।
बोर्ड क्लास है ना?
Yes, Sundaram is the board class of English. Am I audible? We have to continue with which chapter? Deep water. I hope that all of you appeared for the test yesterday. Easy? Very easy? So easy? Very good. किसको difficulty आई? English test में? No one. You got the answer key or solution? Didn't get. So you don't know how much you will score. Marks? Achha, marks are known to us. Subject wise? English person. नहीं नहीं हाँ. English anyone score 100%? Yeah, huh? 40 out of 14 out of 15. One incorrect. Okay. Other students? Suthu Taru. हाँ. हाँ? Exam कितना marks आया? English में? बाहर मार. चल बाहर जा. बाहर मार. Yes, other students? 80%. Why 80% only? English is no punishment. I'm not scolding you. So English is such a subject. If you are sincere, dedicated in the class itself, you can easily score 90% and above. And believe me, I'm not exaggerating. English will always act as a catalyst. शायद ये language जल्दी समझोगे. English will always act as a catalyst to boost up your performance in the board exams. And our students have been scoring. When subjective paper was used to be there, our students have scored 98 and 99 marks also. These students were same like all of you, whose main focus is IIT or medical. But little hard work and you can easily score above 90. So please मेहनत करो. 12-13 marks first test is okay. Go through your mistakes. So let's start. 93%. Okay, 14 out of 15. Who is that? Supratim, great. Can anybody guide me where we stop? Deep water, I know we are doing deep water.
My tool reaches out.
Page number 20, 26, last paragraph.
Everything I had.
Okay.
Sir, please mute. Sir, mute करो.
When did the author develop the fear of water? At what age?
10 to 11.
When he was
10 to 11.
3 or 4 years old. Where did that
भाई
tragedy
मत
take
बोलो,
place?
हमारी आवाज नहीं जाती सर के पास.
At a sea
Bore
beach
कर रहे
in
हो.
California. Where did the misadventure occur?
10.
मिसएडवेंचर कहां पर हुआ था? YMCA pool.
YMCA.
Young Men's Christian Association.
Young men.
What was the age of the author when this misadventure happened?
10 to 11.
15 साल.
18.
He was 10 or 11 years old. Please remember all such things, because in MCQs you can get questions from any nook of the problem. कहीं से भी आ सकता है in the exams. Yes, great. Online students, your answers are correct. So let's continue. Page number 26, the last paragraph. So the author, William Douglas, who was very skinny,
भाई
I just
प्रसंग
break
बंद
them
कर
very
ले यार.
quickly. He went
Raj,
to
this is-
learn to swim. He went to the YMCA pool at the age of 10 or 11 years old. And he was just coming in the comfort zone when a misadventure happened. He reached the pool earliest. He was waiting for others. And he decided, let other children come and I'll go into the pool following them. By the same time, an 18-year-old bruiser of a boy, a strong, well-developed boy with nice rippling wavy muscles. He lifted Douglas and tossed him at the deeper end of the pool. Deepest end of the pool. The deepest end was 9 feet deep and the shallow end is 2 or 3 feet deep. And the author started going down in the sitting position. He got so scared that he just thought that the depth of 9 feet is like 90 feet to him. He came up once, his eyes came out, but again he went into the pool for the second time. Second time he got very scared, but in spite of being scared, he was struggling. He had that confidence that he'll be able to save himself. And he had made a strategy, एक plan बनाया था उसने. The strategy was, as soon as he reaches the bottom, he'll give a big upward jump, come to the surface, lie down, kick the water with his hands and legs, and come out to the edge of the pool. This is what he decided. But he was unsuccessful. When he opened his eyes, he just saw himself surrounded only by water. And sheer, stark terror seized him. Sheer is only, stark, completely, seized, captured. अब वो सिर्फ डर के काबू में पूरी तरह से आ गया था. This is where we stop. So when he reached the pool, at the bottom of the pool for the second time, he remembered that strategy, what he has to do. But now we start from page number 26, the last paragraph, those who have joined in late. But the jump made no difference. The water was still around me. I looked for ropes, ladders, water wings, nothing but water. He was searching for things of safety, for help, but wherever his hands went, it clutched only water. A mass of yellow water held me. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me, like a great charge of electricity. as if a person gets electric shock, पूरी तरह से डर जाता है. Same way his condition was. He just had a fear that is as if he has just met an electric shock. I shook and trembled with fright. What is tremble? Yes, what is tremble?
सर म्यूट कर दिया सर. सर म्यूट कर दो.
Just hold on, please. I don't have the permission. What is tremble? Hindi meaning? Chatpatana, not actually. Tremble is kaapna. Tremble is kaapna. What is shiver? Shiver also is kaapna. Any difference between these besides the spelling? Spelling के अलावा और कोई difference? Shiver is because of the climatic conditions, weather conditions. ठंड के मारे we shiver. And tremble is because of emotions. We may tremble because of excitement, fear, or some other anxieties as well. This is the difference. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move. My legs wouldn't move. No disturbance from the students online, please. Don't discuss amongst themselves. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move. My legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. Mother's always there to help the children, but this time there was nobody to help him. And then, strangely, there was light. That is, he was coming upwards. I was coming out of that awful yellow water. What is awful? Awful is unpleasant, dirty. वो गंदे पानी में ऊपर आ रहा था. Why he felt the water as awful or unpleasant? He disliked water because his life was in danger inside the water. At least my eyes were. My nose was almost out too. Then I started down a third time. The return journey started and we went to the pool for the third time. I sucked for air and got water. Sucked is, he tried to inhale, but water went in it. The yellowish light was going out, means that he was going down at the bottom of the pool for the third time. Then all effort ceased. Ceased. One more cease we did earlier. Sheer stark terror seized him. In that the spelling was with S. Here the spelling is with C. What is the meaning of this seized? There are two seized. One is seized, which we did earlier, and one more seized. This seized is stopped. And this seized is captured. Please remember these spellings as well. Yeah, Sundaram. Then all effort ceased. I relaxed. Even my legs felt limp. There is no control on his legs, and a blackness swept over my brain. This is the time when he got extremely scared now. First, his wits, his sense of thinking was in his control. His brain was working. Now his brain stopped working. पूरा दिमाग था पूरी तरह से सुन पड़ गया. He was unable to think anything else now. Now when he could not realize anything, it wiped out fear. अब उसको कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था. तब कोई डर नाम की चीज बची नहीं थी. उसको he could not understand what is going on with him. It wiped out fear. It wiped out terror. There was no more panic. It was quiet and peaceful. Nothing to be afraid of, because now you could understand nothing. तो किसी चीज का डर ही नहीं था, उसको कुछ समझ ही नहीं रहा था कि क्या हो रहा है उसके संग. This is nice. To be drowsy. To go to sleep. Drowsy is? What is drowsy? Come on. Drowsy is to feel sleepy. Jhapki aana, neend aana. That is drowsy. Many times you feel drowsy in the classrooms. होता है ना English class में. This is nice. To be drowsy. To go to sleep. No need to jump. Too tired to jump. It's nice to be carried gently. To float along in space. Tender arms round me. Tender is soft. Naram, komal. Tender arms round me. Tender arms like mothers. Now I must go to sleep. So these last 4-5 lines just show us that slowly he was becoming unconscious. धीरे धीरे उसके आसपास का सब कुछ वो भूल गया. He knew nothing what is happening with him. I crossed to oblivion and the curtain of life fell. Oblivion is the state of forgetfulness. When you can understand nothing. कुछ याद नहीं रहा. कुछ समझ नहीं आया कि क्या हुआ उसके संग. And he just thought the curtain of life fell. This line shows that he just saw death inches away from him. उसको लगा कि उसकी जिंदगी का जो रामलीला है, रामलीला समाप्त हो गई. जिंदगी का पर्दा. Life is a stage. You play your roles. You have your entrance and then exit. But now he just thought that the curtain of life has fallen. His life has come to an end. So at such a young age, he was only 10 or 11 years old and he had experienced death in front of him. The next I remember, I was lying on my stomach beside the pool, vomiting. He regained consciousness and he was vomiting. The chap that threw me in was saying, chap is that fellow, oh banda, that person, that boy, 18-year-old. The chap that threw me in was saying, but I was only fooling. अरे मैं तो मजाक कर रहा था. Someone said, the kid nearly died. Be all right now. Let's carry him to the locker room. बोलता मजाक मजाक में ये रजाक मर जाता. चलो इसको लेके चलते. Several hours later, I walked home. I was weak and trembling. I shook and cried when I lay on my bed. I couldn't eat that night. For days, a haunting fear was in my heart. Haunting fear? वो दहशत, वो डर था, उसको घेर के रखा था for many days. So this was the effect on his mind, on his body, on his soul. That at a young age of 10 or 11 years old, he had met this misadventure and sheer stark terror had seized him. The slightest exertion upset me. Whenever he tried to do some extra work, he could not, making me wobbly in the knees and sick to my stomach. Wobbly. What is wobbly? We have done this chapter, we have done this word in the earlier chapter. Wobbly doors. Remember last spring? आया ना? टेस्ट के लिए भी पढ़े थे. मैं अभी देखो अगले टेस्ट में ऐसे ही वर्ड्स निकाल के दूंगा. I'll compel you to read each and every word perfectly. I'll try to dig out such words now. Fill in the blank. I had dashed knees. Wobbly is unstable, uncontrolled. Whenever I tried to do anything, his legs would become uncontrolled. Yeah, shaky. Good. Students online are on the knees, on the toes. Making me wobbly in the knees and sick to my stomach. His stomach would become upset and his legs would become shaky, out of control. I never went back to the pool. I feared water. I avoided it whenever I could. So now, even though he wanted to go, but he could not, and he stopped going towards the water. So his fear was directly proportional to 10. A few years later, when I came to know the waters of the cascades, I wanted to get into them. Cascades are waterfall, jharne. And whenever I did, whether I was wading the Titan or bumping river, wading is walking in the water, that is wading. तो जब वो पानी में जाने की कोशिश करता है. Now the various names of lakes and ponds have been mentioned. Whether I was wading the Titan or bumping river or bathing in warm lake of the goat rocks, the terror that had seized me in the pool would come back. So when he came to know about the cascades, the waterfalls, उसकी इच्छा होती थी, it tempted him. He tried to go, enjoy his pleasure trip, but he could not. The terror that had seized me in the pool would come back. Seized, captured. It would take possession of me completely. डर पूरी तरह से उसको अपने आगोश में लपेट लेता था. He would be totally controlled by that terror. My legs would become paralyzed. Icy horror would grab my heart. एक दहशत सी बैठ गई थी उसके दिल में. This handicap stayed with me as the years rolled by. In canoes on main lakes, fishing for landlocked salmon. Canoe is a type of a boat. It's type of a boat, kashti. Fishing for landlocked salmon. Landlocked salmon is a type of a fish. Some more names of the fish will come. Bass fishing in New Hampshire. Bass is also a kind of a fish. Online students, please. Just hold on 1 minute. Okay, now the things should be okay. Please students unmute yourself also. Just see to it there is no disturbance to anyone. Bass fishing in New Hampshire. Bass is a kind of a fish. Trout fishing on the Deschutes and Metolius in Oregon. Trout is again a kind of a fish. So landlocked salmon, bass, trout, there are different kinds of fish. And he went to different places for his pleasure trips. Fishing for salmon on the Columbia, at Bumping Lake in the Cascades. Wherever I went, the haunting fear of the water followed me. So wherever he went to enjoy the water trips, जहाँ जहाँ भी जाता था for boating, for fishing, or to enjoy the cascades, that fear of water would follow him. डर उसके पीछे पड़ा रहता था, उसका पीछा नहीं छोड़ता था. It ruined my fishing trips, deprived me of the joy of canoeing, boating, and swimming. So some nice points for the character sketch of the author. He was fond of boating, fishing, and canoeing, but that water, the fear of water would stop him from enjoying the pleasure trips. So he could not live the life which he wanted to live. जिंदगी जीना चाहता था, जिंदगी वो नहीं जी पाता. I used every way I knew to overcome this fear, but it held me firmly in its grip. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. Now one day I decided in the month of October, बहुत हो गया, बहुत मर मर के जी लिया, बहुत घुट लिया, मुझे भी जिंदगी जीनी है. I also want to live life. And so he decided to overcome the fear of water and take the help of an instructor. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week, 1 hour each day. You can remember this, that he practiced 5 days in a week, 1 hour each day. This is the way his training took place. The instructor put a belt around me. A rope attached to the belt went through a pulley that ran on an overhead cable. The pulley was there. He tied a rope. The other end of the rope with the help of the pulley was in the hand of the instructor. He held on to the end of the rope and we went back and forth, back and forth. Back and forth means आगे पीछे. He would release, वो आगे जाता, खींचता, पीछे आता. We went back and forth, across the pool, hour after hour, day after day, week after week. So for hours, for months, for weeks, he practiced this. On each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized me. कभी-कभी वो डर उसको डरा देता. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and I went under, some of the old terror returned and my legs froze. So whenever the author would release the rope, the instructor would release the rope, the author would go inside, his legs would get frozen, he would get scared. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack. Slack is reduce, कम होना. Dar did not vanish, but dar thoda kam hua with practice of 3 months. Then he taught me to put my face under water and exhale and to raise my nose and inhale. So now the breathing exercise was taught to the author by the instructor, how to breathe or how to inhale outside the water and how to exhale inside the water. I repeated the exercise hundreds of times. Bit by bit, I shed part of the panic that seized me when my head went under the water. So slowly and gradually, the panic, that fear started to reduce. Then he held me at the side of the pool and had me kick with my legs. The author's legs would get frozen when he would be in the pool, so the leg exercise was taught to him. He held me at the side of the pool and had me kick with my legs. For weeks, I did just that. At first, my legs refused to work, but they gradually relaxed. And finally, I could command them. So this was a determination. This was his hard work. First, the legs would not listen. The legs would get frozen. But after sheer practice, now he could command his legs that wherever he wanted to go, the legs would go in that direction. Thus, you can just underline this. Piece by piece, he built a swimmer. Piece by piece is step by step. So step by step, the author was built into a swimmer. And when he had perfected each piece, he put them together into an integrated whole. So it was piece by piece. Now I told the pieces to be jumbled up together. Join them into an integrated whole. In April, he said, now you can swim. Dive off and swim the length of the pool crawl stroke. Crawl stroke is again the type of swimming. There are different ways of swimming. Butterfly, yes, stroke, yes, there are different ways of swimming. So this is one. So when did the training start? October. And when did the author tell him, when did the instructor tell him to swim in the pool with all the steps? In the month of April, around 7 months. I did. The instructor was finished. The author did that successfully and the instructor was finished. That is, instructor मर गया. उसकी swimming देख के अबे गधे 7 महीने में कुछ भी नहीं सीखा. ऐसा कुछ. The work of the instructor was finished. The instructor thought, now my work is finished. But the author thought, but I was not finished. The author did not have still that confidence on himself. I still wondered if I would be terror stricken when I was alone in the pool. Just thought, will I be able to swim all alone? Because till now he was swimming with the guidance of the instructor. क्या मैं अकेला तैर पाऊंगा ये उसने सोचा. I tried it. I swam the length up and down. Up and down means ऐसा नहीं कि ऊपर नीचे. From one end to the other. Tiny vestiges of the old terror would return. So now only the tiny vestiges were left. Vestiges is sign, avshesh, residues. So now only the small terror, little terror had remained. But now I could frown and say to that terror, what is frown? What is frown? I could frown and say to that terror, what is frown? F-R-O-W-N. Yes, students have given me the answer. Yes, Venkat and other students. Yes, offline students. What is frown? डरना नहीं. Frown is angry expressions. गुस्से में देखना. गुस्सा नहीं होना, गुस्से में देखना. वो जब डर आता बोलता है अबे क्या करेगा रे तू मेरे को. This is what you tell the. Can anybody tell me the opposite of frown? Opposite of frown. Okay, what is the opposite of happy? Happy, sad. What is the opposite of laugh? Cry. What is the opposite of optimist? Optimist is ashawadi, which you all should be. Opposite is pessimist, nirashavadi. What is the opposite of smile? Come on. Where is your smile gone? What is the opposite of smile? Don't tell me happy. Don't tell me sad. Don't tell me angry. What is the opposite of smile? It's not weep. Yes, Shubham, you have given the answer. Some students are coming up with the correct answer. Harshit, yes. क्या यार क्या करते हैं तुम लोग? I want the meaning of this word. Opposite. Yes. बताओ. क्या यार कितना easy word है smile. The opposite of smile is frown. What is smile? Does smile mean happy or happy expressions? Happy expressions. Yes, maybe when a teacher comes across you, teacher सामने पड़ जाता है, ना चाहते हुए भी आप smile देते हो ना? Good morning, sir. Does not mean you are actually happy. मन में तो बोला कहाँ आ गया सुबह सुबह पकाना है. मन की सोच अलग होती है. So smile is happy expressions, and angry expressions or sad expressions is frown. So smile has one opposite antonym, perfect antonym is frown. But now I could frown and say to the terror, trying to scare me. Well, here's to you. Look, and off I'd go for another length of the pool. So whenever we would come across that terror in miniature, small quantity, we just, अबे तू क्या डरा कर रहा है मेरे को? ले डरा, जो कर सकता है कर. And you jump into the pool again. ले कर ये तेरे लिए. डरा जो डरा सकता है. This went on until July. So from April to July, nearly 3 months he swam all alone. But I was still not satisfied. The Dil Mange More, he still did not have that confidence on himself. I was not sure that all the terror had left. So I went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. Various names are given. Dived off a dock at Triggs Island and swam 2 miles across the lake to Stampeck Island. But till now, from April to July, he was swimming only in the pool. Now he came out of that pool to the other open water bodies. He started going to the different ponds, different lakes, and he would swim a distance. Chota mota bhi nahi, 2 to 2 miles distance he would swim. Now the various steps or types of swimming. I swam the crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. These are different ways of swimming. Only once did the terror return. When I was in the middle of the lake, I put my face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. During his practice in the other open water bodies, सिर्फ एक बार वो डरा था जब वो पानी के अंदर बीच में था. The old sensation returned in miniature. What is miniature? Small amount, small quantity. When he was in the pool, what was the intensity of the fear? Sheer stark terror. पूरी तरह से डर ने कंट्रोल किया था. But now, with regular practice, only a miniature of terror was left. The old sensation returned in miniature. I laughed and said, "Well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me?" अबे तू क्या कर लेगा रे मेरे को, मेरा का डराएगा. It fled and I swam on. So now the terror which you terrorize the author. जो डर ऑथर को डराता था, अब ऑथर डर को डराना सीख चुका था. तो बोला अबे क्या डरेगा रे तेरे को. एंड डर डर कर भाग गया. Fled is to run away. The terror ran away from there. Yet I had residual doubts. Still, he was not 100% confident at himself. Maybe he was 99%. 1% उसको लगा कि अभी भी मेरे में कुछ doubts है. But till now he was jumping maybe from the ground level. He wanted to try something else. At my first opportunity, I hurried west, went up the Titan to Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creek Trail to Maid Glacier. So please remember, at least if you can remember the other places, अच्छा है, but these 3-4 names you'll have to remember. Titan, Maid Glacier, और अभी एक और नाम आएगा, Warm Lake, and then Gilbert Peaks. A few names will follow that you have to remember, because this is the place where he overcame the fear of water completely. At my first opportunity, जैसे उसको मौका मिला, I hurried west, went up the Titan to Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creek Trail to Maid Glacier, that is at a height, and camped in the high meadow by the side of the Warm Lake. So below a Warm Lake was there. The name of the lake is Warm Lake. वहाँ पे एक पहाड़ था, उधर आके वो. The next morning I stripped, that is, I took off my clothes, changed, dived into the lake, and swam across to the other shore and back. So I went to that, crossed the lake and again returned back, just as Doug Corcoran used to do. Doug Corcoran is the name of an American swimming champion. So the way this American swimmer would practice jumping from a great height, the same way author also tried it. Doug Corcoran के जैसे किया. I shouted with joy, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. So this was the time when the author felt that he has totally captured the fear of water. The fear of water is now under his control. No fear left. So this was a shouted. He just said, "Yes, I have overcome the fear of water." Victorious sound, the joyous sound could be heard in the Gilbert Peak. I had conquered my fear of water. You can just analyze how this young author, when he was 10 or 11 years old, faced that misadventure, but when he could not enjoy the pleasure trips which he wanted, when he could not live the life which he wanted, जैसी जिंदगी वो जीना चाहता था, वो नहीं जी पाया, घुट-घुट के जी रहा था, with how all those positive attributes, confidence, willpower, hard work, dedication, sincerity, perseverance, patience, all those things accounted, and he overcame the fear of water. The experience had a deep meaning for me, as only those who have known stark terror and conquered it can appreciate. Just very simple. Nobody can define fear, but only those who have experienced fear and those who have overcome it, जिसने डर का सामना किया है और डर को अपने काबू में कर लिया है, they only can understand the meaning of the experience which the author had. In death there is peace. There is terror only in the fear of death. As Roosevelt knew when he said, And the author very rightly said, in death there is peace. We all know human beings are not immortal. सबको मौत आनी है, मौत तो आनी है. But the thing which kills the person is the fear of death. मौत तो आनी है सबको एक दिन, लेकिन आदमी को मारता कौन है? मौत का डर. This is what kills the person. And here remember the words of Roosevelt. Roosevelt is the former US president. And Roosevelt knew when he said, and yes, they should always keep this statement next to our heart. All we have to fear is fear itself. हमको सिर्फ एक चीज से डरना चाहिए. किससे? डर से. डर से डरो. ना ही डर को अपने करीब आने दो, ना ही डर के तुम करीब जाओ. You will always live the life king says. Because I had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. The will to live somehow grew in intensity. And when the author was drowning in the pool, YMCA pool, he had experienced death, and he had also experienced one more thing. He had experienced the fear of death. कि मौत को उसने सामने देखा और मौत को देख के जो डर गया था, that डर also he had experienced. And both these fears he had captured now. Both these fears were now under his control with all the positive attributes. So I had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. The will is ichha, to live somehow grew in intensity. So first he was totally scared, but now जीने की तीव्र इच्छा हो गई उसको. Now he could live the life which he wanted. At last I felt release. Now he was free from all fears, free to walk the trails. Trails is great heights, climb the peaks, and to brush aside fear. अब वो ऊंचाइयों पे जा सकता था, ऊंचाइयों से जंप मार सकता था, and he could brush aside is सावन की घटा, हर प्रकार के दूर को वो भगा सकता था. So this is about this chapter, Deep Water, written by William W. Maybe a chapter for life. So always remember, all we have to fear is fear itself. Yes, friends online, all clear? Yeah, Abhishek, Franklin Roosevelt. Great. Things clear with my students. I don't know whether I've shared it. I like to share a quotation. When I come across this chapter, a quotation strikes my mind. I like to share this. सुना होगा आपने, बहुत पुराना है. I know this same right from my school days. तब से दिलो दिमाग में बैठा हुआ है. The quotation is, aspire to acquire the desire you admire. Aspire is to strive hard, to work hard. Acquire is to प्राप्त, to get. Aspire to acquire the desire you admire. If you perspire is पसीना आ जाना, थक जाना. If you perspire, don't retire. अपनी तीव्र इच्छा प्राप्त करने के लिए तीव्र कोशिश करो, बट करते करते अगर थक जाओ, रिटायर इज हार मान लेना, तो गिव अप. डोंट रिटायर, टी को उल्टा करो तो एफ बन जाता है. डोंट रिटायर बट रीफायर to acquire the desire you admire. थक जाओ, हार मत मानो, दोबारा कोशिश करो. So don't retire, but refire to acquire the desire you admire. So this is what you should always have. This is what your attitude be towards life. Life is not a bed of roses. It's not an easy cakewalk for everything. You have to strive for things. And it's not necessary that you can meet success every time at first attempt, but never give up. करो कोशिश, दोबारा मेहनत करो अच्छे से. Learn out from your mistake. believe in yourself and always believe that I can and I will. मैं कर सकता हूं, मैं करके दिखाऊंगा. I can and I will. Never lose hopes and you'll always achieve success in life. This is what this important inspirational chapter teaches us. Douglas, a victim of hydrophobia right from an early age, early childhood we can see. But he wanted to live life and with all the positive attributes. He overcame that fear and he emerged victorious. डर को पूरी तरह से उसने हटा दिया था. So this is something about this very important chapter for life besides the syllabus. Clear? Okay. Yes, somebody, yes, Pulkita, okay. Aspire to aspire to inspire before we expire. Yes, yeah, this is what I am trying to do. I am trying to inspire all of you before any outward thing happens. Few questions. लिख लो, लिखना हो तो for practice. Some students have been sending me regularly. In fact, before I reach home or before my lunchtime, the students are ready with the answer. कुछ students तो फटाक से लिख के भेज रहे हैं. Yes, it's nice to see the participation from the students. Question number 1. Write the character sketch of William Douglas.
Sure.
Write the character sketch of Douglas. Yes, it's William Douglas. I'm just writing Douglas. Why was the author scared of water? Why was the author scared of water? Question number 3, important. Many things you will learn from this. Describe the misadventure. Describe the misadventure at the YMCA pool. Describe the misadventure at the YMCA pool. One more question from a part of it. What were the series of emotions? What were the series? Nothing to do with a number series. Eh? What were the series of emotions of fear? When Douglas was drowning? What were the series of emotions of fear when Douglas was drowning? So those who want to attempt these answers, I'll just give the answer in brief. When he was drowning, the first, तो उसके दिमाग में डर के क्या emotions थे? First time he felt the 9 feet depth to be 90. The second time when he went deeper in the pool, he felt it is a bottomless pool. And third time, a blackness swept over his brain and he saw the curtain of life fall. उसने महसूस किया उसकी जिंदगी की रास लीला का पर्दा खत्म हो गया है. And these are the emotions of fear when he was. And maybe the last one. How did Douglas overcome the fear of water? And the notes of this chapter also have been uploaded on Resource. So those who have the module, it's fine. Only students, by chance, if you are not received the module, you can refer the notes. From my side, it's okay, some frequency estimates. Yes, you can refer the notes on Reso Sir. What are the answers are for your practice? If you want to write the answers with the open book, I won't stop anyone, but write the answers with your open mind. दिमाग खुला होना चाहिए. Book में से copy paste करके, it won't help you out in that chapter. Read the chapter for once, understand. It's always better to write the answers in your own words. Yes, I thought these questions are enough. I hope you all have taken it down. So we are through with the prose topics of Flamingo for term 1. We have 3 chapters. We have finished those first 3 chapters from Flamingo. Now when literature is concerned, we are left with 2 topics of vistas and 3 poems from Flamingo. So left time. So let's take up the poems first for a change. Let's start the poems. Yeah, I try to give the questions which cover the whole chapter, so it will become easier for you to answer the MCQs as well. Okay, Sundaram. So there are 3 poems in our syllabus. My Mother at 66. Second poem, a vague name, a very or the most important poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, written by Stephen Spender. And the third poem which you have is Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. There are 3 poems in our syllabus. Whenever you get this poem-based questions, whether it is extract or in the MCQ type, one question you can always expect is something related to the poetic device or the literary device or the figure of speech. This question you can expect in your exams. Before we start, we'll go with those things. We'll take up some poetic devices. Or literary devices. Something which we are discussing in the earlier chapter, in the textual chapter. Yes, some student had asked me the doubt, hyperbole, simile, metaphor, all those things. Yes, most of the things you might be knowing. In Hindi we know it as alankar. So these are the terms, poetic device or literary device, or you can be asked the figure of speech. Any of these terms can be put up in the exam. So don't get confused. Here, kya पूछ लिया है हमको. There are many poetic devices, but we'll try to go with those poetic devices only, which comprise a part of the topics which are in our syllabus. हम उसी को हम concentrate करें. I start with the first easiest one. Okay. That is simile. Please don't make mistake in the spelling. It is not smiley, it is simile. Anyone, what is simile? Simile is to like someone. Whenever a comparison is made with the word like or as, and the poem which will be starting the first poem, it has two nice examples of simile. Details मैं तो बताता रहूंगा. Time to time I'll tell you. There will be all the poetic devices also. So first is simile. So simile is comparison with the words like or as. That is simile. Example I'll give. I've shown this example also, I think. He fought like a lion in the battlefield. He fought like a lion in the battlefield. Over here, I am comparing the qualities of a soldier with that of a lion with the word like. This is simile. समझ में आ गया? वो शेर के जैसे लड़ा. That means how does a lion fight? Confident, fearless, परवाह इल्ले, निडर, बेखौफ. This is the way that soldier fought. He went into the army territory and again attack करके दोबारा अपने देश वापस आ गया. He fought like a lion in the battlefield. This is simile. The second other common one you will find in many of the poems is metaphor. Metaphor becomes a direct comparison. Comparison, उसमें भी comparison होता है, but without like or as. Yes, comparison without like or as is metaphor. वो आएगा तब तक तो क्लास खत्म हो जाएगी.
Yeah.
Okay. So comparison without like or as is metaphor. The same example we'll try to convert into metaphor. He was a lion in the battlefield. He was a lion in the battlefield. Try to compare these two statements. The meaning implied indirectly is same. वो शेर के जैसे लड़ा, वो लड़ाई के मैदान में शेर था. I am terming that person directly as a lion. That is, that soldier had the qualities like that of a lion. The meaning implied is same, but the usage changes. Don't jump like a monkey in the class. अबे बंदर जैसे मत उछल क्लास के अंदर. Example of simile. अबे बंदर चुप बैठ. Example of metaphor. Clear? This is simile and metaphor. Yes, any doubts over here? Coming on to the next one. Technical fault is there, frequency matching from the other class, nothing in our control. Yes. Third one. Again, you'll find in the poems, it is personification. What is personification? When inanimate objects or non-living things are given human attributes or qualities. When non-living things are given human quality, compare नहीं करते. जब उनको जीवित qualities देते हैं, like human beings, it is called as personification. And the best example always is mirror always speaks the truth. Mirror is honest. क्या mirror वाकई में बोल सकता है? We don't have a talking mirror. It's not that when you're in front of the mirror, mirror आपको जवाब देगा क्या चिकने क्या मस्त लग रहे आज तो. Or it will never say ओए घोंचू कंघी तो कर बाल तो सही से बना डेट पे जा रहा है या जा रही है दोनों पे. ठीक. So mirror always speaks the truth. The trees are dancing in the breeze. The trees are dancing in the breeze. हवाएं चल रही है, पेड़ की डालियां हिल रही हैं. The trees are dancing. Doesn't mean the trees can dance. They are not living things. This is the example of personification. Next, a very common one again, alliteration. Anyone? What is alliteration? Oh, sorry, Weber, what did you not understand? So what do you not understand? Whenever non-living things are given human qualities, it is called as personification. Mirror, can the mirror speak? But mirror is honest. I can just say mirror is honest. Honest is a human quality. So this also becomes an example of personification. Next is non-living things are personified as human qualities. Mirror is a non-living thing. Second example I gave, the trees are dancing in the wind. Yes, the clouds are. Chalo, one more simple example, maybe you can understand. The clouds are angry today. What does this mean? Or the sky is angry today. Chalo, make it simple. And the other example is the sky looks to be happy. समझ में आया दोनों का कैसा मौसम बदल गया है, बदल देते हैं मौसम. The sky is happy. Looks like सुहाना मौसम है, बाहर घूमने जा सकते हैं. क्लास की ऐसी की तैसी. और the sun is angry today. This is my statement. The sun is angry today. Scorching hot. तेज धूप, बाहर नहीं जा सकते. उससे अच्छा है क्लास की ऐसी की तैसी नहीं करते हैं, क्लास में एसी में बैठते हैं. बाहर घूम के कोई मतलब नहीं है. The sun is angry or the sun is smiling. How the meaning changes. This is personification. Alliteration. When the consonant sound of a word in the beginning is repeated. जब कोई शब्दों का स्वर, the sound of the word, not the letters, when the consonant sound of a word is repeated, it is termed as alliteration. Somebody give me the answer. No, not Harshit. Not your answer is incorrect. Alliteration is the sound of the repetition of the consonant of the words in a statement. Yes. I simplified this definition with an example. दोनों कर देता हूँ. Your wish. So just go to a simple example. He or she was or is sweet, sincere, and smart. See the sound of this word. Consonant sound is sir. Sir. Does not mean that the words should always be together. They can be clustered anywhere. But in a line, if a few words are, the sound of the word is repeating, that is known as alliteration. Yes. Some of you might not be knowing my name. I put up my name. Is this an example of alliteration? Is my name an example of alliteration? Yes or no? Come on, quick. हाँ या ना? अरे जवाब दो. Why are skeptic? डरते क्यों? Either the answer should be yes or it should be no. I'm getting the answers in mixed bunch. हाँ या ना? Agreed? नहीं? क्यों? Go for the consonant sound and not the letters. Letters से धोखा मत खाना. How do you sound this word? Sir. How do you read this word? Is it sir या sh? It is sh. It is not saharma. It is sh. So the sound changes. So this is not an example of alliteration. I hope it is clear. Letters पे मत जाओ. लेटर सेम हो सकता है, उसका स्वर सुनो. ये स है और ये श है. भाई दिस इज स and this is sh. So this is not an example of alliteration. Suppose if I add. Now, can this be an example of alliteration? Yes or no? हाँ या ना? Yes. Because इसको हटा दो, but now Sunil sir. the sound is of S, the same consonant sound. So the letters can be same, can be different, but you should go with the sound and not with the letters. समझ में आ गया? Okay. Some more example like to. I will just see that, sir, इसके अंदर काय का कुछ भी नहीं है. It's a simple statement. But this is an example of alliteration. How do you read this word? Physics. So the sound is repeated, the consonant sound is same in spite of the letters being different. So ध्यान से समझो what is alliteration, and it is a very common figure of device you mostly find in all the poems. कहीं ना कहीं ये आपको मिल ही जाएगा. So this is something about alliteration. Yes, Betty bought some butter, but the butter was bitter. Okay. ठीक है, समझ में आ गया? One more nice example. Keep quiet and calm. No letter is repeated, but see the sound. K, K, quiet, K, calm, K. This is an example of alliteration. So don't go for the letters, go for the sound of the letters, that is alliteration. I hope it is clear. Great. चलो और जगह है और भी लिख देता हूँ. Read this sentence. Shahrukh saw Salman selling seashells on seashore on Sunday. Is it an example of alliteration? How many set of consonant sounds can you analyze? 2, sa and sh. And then, and the simple one you can see is example of alliteration. A nice example of tongue twister. Now, I'd like you to read this sentence 3 times very quickly, loudly, without any mistake. Who would like to try? Yes, somebody had put up a nice. Come on. Be brave enough. आ जाओ. कौन बोलेगा या बोलेगी? चलो लड़कियां टक्कर दो बॉयज काउंटर पार्ट्स को. Be quick enough. Shah Rukh saw Salman selling seashells on the seashore on Sunday. थोड़ा फास्ट बोलना है, रुक रुक के नहीं. An example, something like कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पाकड़ पक्कड़ पाकड़ पापड़ पापड़, पता नहीं क्या हो जाता है. Yes, would like to try. Come on, quick. Online students तैयार हो गए सब? हाँ? वो तो ठीक है ना, तुम बोलो ना. कोशिश करो, उसमें क्या है? कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती. गिव एन अटेम्प्ट, क्या होगा? मार्क्स थोड़ी कटेंगे. I'll give you bonus marks in the next test. Extra marks. Gift from my side. क्या हो गया? Yeah, Bhavika, there are two types of alliteration in this. I cannot unmute because then the disturbance is there. No one? बोलो बोलो. अरे डरते क्या हो, बोलो ना. हाँ. क्या होगा? खाली स और श के मिस्टेक होगी ना, और क्या होगा? बाकी कुछ है ही नहीं. Repeat again. Very good. Anybody else? Yeah, great. This is literally helpful for students who have those deficiency of pronouncing the words properly. ये श और स एक common mistake होती है. Not in one, in many. I think this was here also. श में दिक्कत लगी ना? And this is a nice practice to overcome this disability. बैठे बैठे अकेले अकेले मन में प्रैक्टिस करो. स और श की जो साउंड की जो डिफरेंस प्रॉब्लम आती है ना, that can be overcome. But well tried. Okay. Coming on to the next one. We have done simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration. One more is there where this poem is concerned. Achha, one common one is imagery. This also you'll find in poems, many poems. As the name suggests, imagery is the poet uses such words that an image is created in the mind. The image is created in the mind. That is imagery. Very simple examples. The flowers are blooming, the flowers are blooming everywhere in the garden. पोएट कभी वर्ड्स ऐसे यूज करता है कि एक दिमाग में इमेज आ जाती है around that. Again, if you want to take something from the textual chapter, the author Mukesh wala part, they pass through stinking lanes choked with garbage all around. जैसे दो बार पढ़ोगे दिमाग में एक इमेज आ जाएगी, stinking lanes choked with garbage, वो गंदी गली, that bylane, that dirty filthy bylane image is created in the mind. Something from the poem which we'll be doing. The trees are sprinting. The tree is sprinting. Sprinting is running. The author has signified that the car is moving. The trees are sprinting. So image आ जाती है, word say that is imagery. It's a very common one. And one more one will take. Refrain. Refrain. Maybe you can also term it as repetition. Yes, trees are sprinting is an example of personification as well. A line can have various poetic devices. Refrain or is there any spelling mistake? Repetition की spelling सही लिखी है या गलत लिखी है? What is the correct spelling of repeat? R-E-P-E-A-T. So it should be repetition या is the spelling correct? A नहीं आएगी spelling में. What is the correct spelling of repetition? Maybe I can also make spelling mistakes. Which one is correct? The first one, second one, or the one which I have highlighted? Which one? The highlighted one, this one. Yes, anyone? Okay, per R-E-P-E-A-T-A. The highlighted one. Repeat is R-E-P-E-A-T. I know, but spelling of repetition, there is no A. The spelling of repetition is correct. The thing also goes with explanation. E-X-P-L-A-I-N. पर जब explanation करते हैं पहला I गायब हो जाता है. E-X-P-L-A-N-A-T-I-O-N. Yes, please keep a check on such spellings also. Okay, coming on to this poetic device, refrain or repetition. Whenever a word or words are repeated, whenever कुछ शब्द या शब्दों का समूह, whenever a word or a word is repeated to emphasize something, we term it as repetition or refrain. Refrain goes the better term. And refrain mostly is taken as at the end of a statement. And in exam, suppose if you get options, both options will not be given to you together. है ना, ये दोनों ये मत पूछना कि सर repetition रखें कि refrain रखें. But you should know what is refrain. And a nice example is there in the first poem which we will be beginning. And the last line of the first poem, all I did was smile and smile and smile. See? I'll just give the smile and smile and smile. So if you use the word once, I smiled. I smiled and smiled. I smile and smile and smile. See how the things change. This is repetition. Yes. There is water everywhere. One more sentence. I'm giving example. There is water everywhere. चारों तरफ पानी है. There is water everywhere. चारों तरफ पानी ही पानी है. Don't you feel that the intensity of the water has increased? There is water everywhere. चारों तरफ पानी पानी और सिर्फ पानी ही है. And if you repeat this water maybe around 10-12 times, you emphasize the term, the word water, maybe you will remember Honey Singh. There is water, पानी पानी. Other things. चारों तरफ पानी है. चारों तरफ पानी 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 पानी. See how the thing changes, how the mood changes. बदल गया ना mood. This is refrain. something from the textual chapter. First chapter we did, French wala. When French was being taught grammar in the class, वो बोलता है, everything seems so easy. So easy. सब कुछ कितना आसान है, काफी आसान. रिपीट नहीं करता, सब कुछ कितना आसान है. There is no intensity. But when everything seems so easy, this is refrain or repetition. So these were a few poetic devices. Many more to follow. Pun, synecdoche, जैसे चलेंगे, as we come across the poems, I'll try to emphasize, it will become easier for you to retain. These are the most common of the poetic devices which are there in our syllabus. So I think I won't take much of your time. I won't trouble you much for today. We'll wind up the class. It's nearly 9:30. Yes. And we'll meet again fresh at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And please bring your flamingos and we'll take up the first poem, My Mother at 66, written by Kamla Das. Till then, thank you. Take care of yourself and see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye all of you.